You're all well in whatever part of the world you're watching this video. Today is the 18th of the 11th, 2016. It's a Friday and the time is 0900 WAST. Well, folks, if you're wondering why I didn't put anything up about the earthquake the other day, it's because I didn't think there was a need. And for once, I just wanted to sit back and see what came out in the wash, so to speak. And I can tell you, quite literally, that every single site had different measurements, every single site had different times, every single site had something different as regards to the earthquake. Now, what I can tell you is that it was a 7.9. That's a definite. It wasn't 6, it wasn't 7, it was 7.9, which is a massive earthquake, as you know. So there was obviously no reason to go over it with everybody. The only thing I will say about it is that if you look at previous videos that I did, then it was very obvious that it was actually going to happen, and I did warn everybody about it. Now, take note that that one there went off pretty well the day before these ones. So if I watch these correctly, then we should get a big earthquake in this area here. But let's just see what happens in the next couple of days, if not about a week. Okay? Don't ask me how I know that, but as I said in my thing, everything is going west. The main thing about this was it actually apparently made New Zealand, the whole of New Zealand, not just a little bit, which means that all this as well went 2 meters north. Now, isn't that interesting? 2 meters, folks, not 1 centimeter, 2 meters. Okay. Just want to talk about the news and Trump's big landslide victory, and what it means for all of us. There is now no viable news service except for the alternative news. I hope everybody realises that. That may sound like a funny thing to say, but what you actually witnessed was a couple of things. Was the will of the people being listened to, and the fact that nobody is paying attention to the mainstream media anymore. Now, that's a major, it's probably more important than the fact that Trump won, because we haven't had a viable media for 3 generations now. All the media around the world is owned by 6 people, so we can't get non-biased news reports. So what you're watching is CNN's going to be dead in the water. They're all dead in the water. So watch this space, which is another reason why I started the Australian Alternative News Network, which is now up and running, folks. Okay. Interesting to note that not one single station has said anything about Russia massive bombing of Syria with the Syrian army. Guys, they have been chucking everything at it for nearly a week now. It would be horrific to be living there at the moment. I also want to show you something that is of major consequence. I'll bring it up in real time so you know I want to show you this. This bit here is Bulgaria. Now, I know lots of Bulgarians because I worked in England for nearly 20 years in construction, and I know what their general views are as regards to outsiders, etc. They don't like outsiders, and they don't particularly like Muslims. To be honest with you, the majority of them hate Muslims as much as I can say. So why is that important? Well, if you look here on their border, that border is Turkey. See that? Now, they just elected a new president who is extremely, extremely anti-European. This up here is Poland. So we're going to be living in interesting times, folks. Now, if Bulgaria, who has a great love of Russia, says that they're going to be part of the Russian Federation again, Romania, that is, sorry. What do you think is going to happen between there and Russia up there? Because they're already talking like that, folks. This is Russia over here. So I forgot you've got Ukrainian, you've got 3 or 4 countries in between, haven't you? So this is Bulgaria, which used to be a Soviet bloc country, and they still speak Russian and everything else. They've got their own language, of course, but they still speak Russian. So interesting times, folks. Interesting times. Now, the big other thing is they are seriously talking about pulling out of the EU. So one big thing to watch out for, because literally you're talking about Russia coming in through the back door of these countries. These countries here, Serbia, Romania, you know, they're all going to start shitting themselves, seriously, that Russia will come back into the fold. Okay, as regards to Trump, I suppose everybody realises that Trump has won, but it does not change one thing at all. Nothing. Doesn't change anything. Not one thing at all, folks. The only thing that has changed, if it's changed anything, and even this is going to be hard to stop, is tyranny. Tyranny, the Clinton establishment, etc., and all the cronies. So that's the only thing that's happened so far. And even then, they're not dead. They haven't run away yet. So we're in for a massive problem for the next year or so. Be knife fights at dawn, etc. And as I said, you will start to see suicides soon. Banker suicides, politician suicides, government workers suicides. Mark my words, they're coming if they haven't already started. About the only thing we got out of it was order out of chaos, really, out of Trump winning. Now, there is a gentleman called Cliff High at Half Past Human. I'll find it. Here it is here. This one here, folks. If you want to find out exactly what's going on in the world, this guy is classed as being the present day Nostradamus because of the things that he does. Now, this interview here that he's done on the X22, Huge Crisis Headed Our Way, Credit Freeze, Bank Runs and Riots by Cliff High, is worth every minute of watching it for 47 minutes, let me tell you. If you get the time, I would strongly recommend that you watch that video because he's very, very, very wrong. Excuse me. Okay, but please watch that video. It's very, very good. Okay. Moving along. Yeah, folks, as I said, this is the Australian Alternative News Network that I've started. As you can see there, it's all up and running. I haven't got many subscribers yet, but I'm hoping to get more and more as they come along, obviously. So if you don't mind, please like, share and subscribe, or like, subscribe and share. I'm going to start putting up some more interesting stuff on it. Basically, I've done 4 reports now, just to see how it all goes, and it's going pretty well. So it's mainly to do with what affects Australians and Kiwis more than anybody else. Okay, that's what's called the Australian Alternative News Network. Okay, next up. we now have, by courtesy of a gentleman in in Victoria, who has now started a communication format for all Australians and Kiwis as regards to prepping. Now, if you wish to get onto this site and communicate one-on-one within your state or with anybody from other states, he's set it up so that you can go on any state you want and start talking to other people in other states. The gentleman's name is Andrew. Now, you have to send me an email asking for you to be signed up. Andrew is the administrator, and Andrew will decide if yes or no you're going to go on it, because it's his server and everything else, and he's offered to let us use this system so we can talk one-on-one. We had a trial meeting last night between myself and a couple other fellas in Melbourne or Victoria, and it worked really well and highlighted a few points and deficiencies that we needed to become a bit more relevant on, if that's the right word. You know, we've got, everybody's got areas of expertise, and that's the beauty of being able to talk openly. It's a beautiful format. I've been on it, like I said, I've been on it a couple of times. It's really great. It'll save everyone a lot of time and effort. Instead of sending me an email, you can put an email up there on that system and somebody will answer it from the groups. So it's really worthwhile, and I'd encourage everybody to get into it. But like I said, you have to send me an email so that you can send Andrew, or so that I can send Andrew an email for you. Okay? Get rid of that. Put it down there. This is another funny thing that some, this is funny. This lady here, Jade Starr, has done a Prep Aussie family video in regards to surviving. It's bloody funny, seriously. The reason I'm asking everyone to go and have a look at it is because she's done it in a way so that everybody can understand stuff in a funny sort of way instead of being serious about it. It's actually a pretty good job. I laughed my head off. But that's my kind of humour, so it's a little bit bogany, if you know what I mean, but it's pretty funny. Okay. I had some questions the other day as regards to the New Zealand earthquake about a sonic boat, boom buster boat or whatever. Look, guys, I don't really know. I suppose it's my job to find out about these things, but 7.9 earthquake in New Zealand with the boat just off the shore there. Could it? Yeah, possibly. Was it? I don't know. Why would they want to do it? I don't know. If they did do it, why did they have to pick New Zealand? You know, are they worried about the Kiwis running them up or something? I don't know. There seems to be a lot more things on YouTube these days as regards to disinformation and just generalised crap that worry me a lot. Just take everything with a grain of salt, folks. As I said, keep it simple, stupid. If you think something's too outlandish to believe, then it probably is. Now, there is one thing that's floating around that's been bugging me for a while, and that is the John Kerry visit to Antarctica. Now, the Secretary of State of the US, who is the second in command of the US after the Vice President, if you know what I mean, he's the most powerful person in America after the President, really. Why, on the election day, was he down in the Antarctic? And why have 6 people from foreign governments, probably even more than what we know, all visited the same spot, Antarctica, in the last 6 months to a year? That is very interesting. That's more interesting than a boat floating off the east coast of New Zealand, maybe setting off a big bomb. Don't you think that that is weird, folks? as far as I know, I think even some Australian politicians went down there, but I'm going to check it out and I'm going to get back to you. It's bizarre and weird, folks. One other thing that I'd like to say, folks, is in regards to weather patterns and star patterns. If you're in Australia and New Zealand, if possible, if you have a good camera, try and get a picture of the Southern Cross in the sky at the moment, and also the saucepan. Because, guys, I'm telling you, they are miles out. Well, they seem to be miles out. The sun came up this morning so far south in November that it was incredible. But when it's going down at night, it's nowhere near the same radius. And if you think I'm crazy, go and check it out. Keep an eye on it and you'll see what I mean. I'm not unsure about America at the moment because you're going into winter. But here, it's been absolutely crazy. And I've spoken about the vegetable scenario. My vegetables are still at least 4 to 5 weeks out from where they should be. We went, here's the weather patterns here in WA, for example. We went from having 2 40-degree days, then it dropped down to 18, and then at night time it was 10 degrees. This is in November, folks, almost December. Anybody who's in WA understands what I'm talking about, and anyone who's in Australia understands what I'm talking about. That's phenomenal weather, folks. That's something that you don't really have. It just shouldn't happen. So it'd be interesting to see. This is where this new format comes into play, because you can upload pictures, you can show everybody anything you want to show them, within reason, folks, please. No cameras down the pants. Because it works in that format. You can upload pictures or anything, YouTube videos, the whole lot. It's a fantastic site that he's set up. So I would say to all you guys, please go on it, have a look at it. Try and get some pictures. If you've got a really good quality camera that can take pictures of the night sky, and then check it against Stellarium. Because even Strop sent me something the other day, and he said there's no way that I should be seeing what I was seeing at 9 o'clock at night, because on Stellarium it was still down past the horizon. And I didn't have any way of photographing what I was seeing, but I obviously had something of interest, because why would I be asking that particular point? So I hope that makes sense. I'm going to do another video in a couple of days in regards to prepping, just mainly prepping, okay? It's going to be a pretty heavy video, but everyone needs to start understanding about a few things now. All right. Lord's Prayer. Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, as we forgive those who trespass against us. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, the power, and the glory, forever and ever. Amen. God bless everyone. Oh, by the way, the reason you're not seeing my mug is because I now have Houdini up and running, and let's just wait and see what happens, eh? God bless everyone. Prep out. Good morning, everybody. Prep Aussie here. I hope you're all well in whatever part of the world you're watching this video. Today is the 18th of the 11th, 2016. It's a Friday, and the time is 0900 WAST. Well, folks, if you're wondering why I didn't put anything up about the earthquake the other day, it's because I didn't think there was a need. And for once, I just wanted to sit back and see what came out in the wash, so to speak. And I can tell you, quite literally, that every single site had different measurements, every single site had different times, every single site had something different as regards to the earthquake. Now, what I can tell you is that it was a 7.9. That's a definite. It wasn't 6, it wasn't 7, it was 7.9, which is a massive earthquake, as you know. So there was obviously no reason to go over it with everybody. The only thing I will say about it is that if you look at previous videos that I did, then it was very obvious that it was actually going to happen, and I did warn everybody about it. Now, take note that that one there went off pretty well the day before these ones. So if I watch these correctly, then we should get a big earthquake in this area here. But let's just see what happens in the next couple of days, if not about a week. Okay? Don't ask me how I know that, but as I said in my thing, everything is going west. The main thing about this was it actually apparently made New Zealand, the whole of New Zealand, not just a little bit, which means that all this as well went 2 meters north. Now, isn't that interesting? 2 meters, folks, not 1 centimeter, 2 meters. Okay. Just want to talk about the news and Trump's big landslide victory, and what it means for all of us. There is now no viable news service except for the alternative news. I hope everybody realises that. That may sound like a funny thing to say, but what you actually witnessed was a couple of things.